about to do another book review. So today's book review is called Own It. I like the book. I felt like the book was actually pretty good. It kind of teaches you how to be more self-aware. For some reason, my it wouldn't let me upload the video, or me upload the picture. So let me show you the book if you could see it, because I listened to it on Audible. You probably can't see it. Okay, but it's red, white, and yellow. I think y'all could kind of see it a little bit. I'll have the link in the below. But anyway, the book was pretty good to me. I did like it. One of the things that it's about a lady. Her name is Diane Vaughn something. Um, and she teaches, like, her book was basically about being aware, alive, and awake. Those three things are crucial in her book, because she talks about being aware. That's like reassessing your life, reviewing your life, your past, present, and future, and like just being aware of where you are right now and where you want to go. Alive is living, living this life. Like getting out there and enjoying life, like not staying still. And being awake, is fully feeling it, fully feeling this, okay? And so I felt like it was a very applicable, because a lot of people don't do this. A lot of people are not, enjoying life, feeling life. They just letting life pass them by. So this theories of aware, alive, and awake is huge, right? Um, so I took notes. If y'all know me, I'm a writer. I love to write. I love to journal. That's why I have so many journals I have created on my website. So you go on there, you're probably like, yeah, she likes to write. She's a writer. So anyway, awareness is the gratitude of being alive, okay? So it makes it's making an accurate assessment in your journey. That's what I was just saying, like being like in the moment, being present, and understanding exactly where you want to be at and where you want to go in this life, right? And so that is about what awareness means. Also, she talked about showing your vulnerability um, does not show weakness. So being vulnerable is not a sign of weakness. So I think that hit me hard, because I was like, sometimes I used to be so nonchalant, and I try not to be. I still sometimes fall into this nonchalant bag that I be in, but because I just feel like sometimes people just overdo it. But then I had to learn, no lie, I had to learn how to be more present in my life. Okay. And how to be, what that means to me. I mean, what that meant to me was how to experience my emotions. So that means that I can't run, I can't hide from my emotions. I have to be present in my emotion. If I feel emotional, I have to like experience that, instead of saying, you don't need to cry. You don't need to do that. Like, I was even so nonchalant, like when it came to happiness. I'm like, ugh, is that happiness there? Is that what I'm seeing here? Is this the energy of happiness? Okay, okay, I like it. Like it was like breaking that freedom, and like being vulnerable is, to me, was just like it's talking about like, and like experiencing your emotions. And like I had to learn how to do that. And like I said, sometimes I don't. I ain't gonna lie to you. Sometimes I don't tap into those emotions, because it's just so natural for me not to. But I feel like reading this book made me realize again, it was the second time again, understanding my awareness, understanding my vulnerability. It's okay to show vulnerability. That doesn't mean I'm weakness. It's okay for me to show emotions. That does not mean that that's a sign of weakness. That just means that I'm just vulnerable in that moment. I'm just I'm just emotional in that moment, and it's okay. Okay. Like I'm totally like, okay. Because I feel like I have not always been given the opportunity in my life for me to show my emotions and people actually care. A lot of people like whatever. So I naturally like took that from myself when it came to like being like showing my emotions. And I'm gonna tell you this too. I had to like remove people who don't allow me to freely be me or freely feel my emotions. The people who be like, "Girl, you ain't gotta feel those emotions." Like, "Oh, girl, get over it." All of that, or they don't acknowledge my emotions. I had to learn like those are not the type of people I want to be around, because I should be around people who um let me freely open up my emotions. And if I freak out, if I have a moment of freaking out, you pull me back and you say, "Hey, girl, come on in. Like it's okay. Everything gonna be okay." And so this book talks about that for me, about showing your vulnerability. It says showing your vulnerability does not mean that that shows weakness. And so I had to learn that. Another thing that I talked about was age. So another thing I experienced in my life was I kind of since I turned 25, and I've been 25 for a while. No, but when I turned 25 for real, I I had this thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm getting old. And then every year, it's like every year after my birthday, it was like, oh, I'm getting older and older and older and older. And so this book talked about that too. And it says, age is the map of life made of memory stored images. Okay. And so for me, I had to realize that age is a number. Okay. And Aaliyah said that age ain't number. She said a little more because I wanted to say the rest of the song, but age ain't number. Okay. Um, Also, I remember the last week, a couple weeks ago. Um, I was somewhere with my friend and I was waiting on them to get well, I was waiting on them. And so I was sitting in the lobby of someplace, and like this lady, she was older and she was kind of sickly, and she sat down and she said this to me, and it just made me think. She was like, "Yeah, I don't want to get older, but I don't want to die either. So I guess I got to get used to getting older." And I was like, she right. You don't want to get older. A lot of women don't want to get older. Like I think that like since I've been in my 30s, I still do the same thing. Like I be trying to go through this thing where like every year I gotta do something grand, something great, which is true. I want to enjoy life, because that's what she's talking about, being alive and being awake. But I don't have to put the pressure of that, on myself. Like, okay, I want to be alive, I want to be awake. I mean, I want to experience. I got to do this right here before I turn 32, 33. That like in the year 32 I want to do this, in the year 33 I want to do that. Like I just had to like, everybody don't make it, and like it's a blessing that you're here, and it's a blessing that you can feel and you can experience life. And that's something I had to learn myself. um the next one here was the next thing that she wrote was, age needs to be celebrated every moment and every year. It's proof of having lived. So that goes back to like being like that, aware, alive, and awake. You know, like once we experience life, once we're out here experiencing life, and understand that this life is not, we're not meant to be here for forever. But while we're here, better make the best of it. We better go after our dreams. We better like, let's make a vision board. Let's do some things to go after our dreams. And so I think like once you recognize that, then you actually start to really experience life. And I did like that. Um, she also teaches the principle of life in her book, which is, I like that as well. That was pretty helpful. And the question she asked was, what do you need to do? I mean, what do you need to own in your life? So, what do you need to own in your life? Like, what do you need to like say if age is your problem, right? What do you need to own in this lifetime? To mean to own it. Like what do you need to do to own that situation? So if also if like say if you felt like you was unlovable, what do you need to do to own the unlovable thing? Like, how do you make yourself feel more lovable? Because you're owning it by making yourself feeling more lovable. How do you love yourself more? And so that was a good thing too. If you if you want to answer that question in the comments, feel free to. But what do you need to own in your life? Because we all need to own something. We all have insecurities. You know, what is that Kanye song? I can't think of it. It says something like, we all something. I'm just the first to admit. Oh, we all self-conscious. I'm just the first to admit. Like, like we all self-conscious. We all trying to like live our life, and we're all trying to be free. You know, think about when you was a little girl and you was trying to be free and you was trying to be yourself. Like, what did that feel like? You know, like those are things that you should ask yourself. Like, what does that feel like to be free, to be happy? But anyway, I'm going to put the book cover on my thumbnail. Okay. So you guys could see it and know what book to buy. Because I tried to show you on my phone, but my phone was having a glare, so y'all know how that is. Um, Also, um, go to my website at crowningourqueens.com, or if you want to sign up for my pageant, I do a pageant every year in Dallas, Texas. So fly out here to Dallas if you don't live here, um, where we do a self love confidence pageant. Like it's basically build. It's a self love healing and building confidence pageant. We take girls of all ages. We also take guys or or boys too, but they don't participate in the pageant like with like the interviews and stuff like that. They just basically walk on stage, or they walk our girls on stage. But if you want to be a part of it, I would love for you to be a part of it. I would love for you to check my websites out. And I'm gonna say goodbye and read the book because I did.